Well, the sun has decided to come out a little bit, and I am anxious to get back into the woods to see if there are any edibles or medicinals growing back there. So come along. Hi everybody, welcome to Living Traditions Homestead. My name is Sarah, and well, we have had rain for days and days and days, but the sun decided to peek out a little bit today, and it is beautiful, and I just can't wait to get back into the woods and see what is growing. I love to forage for wild edibles and wild medicinals. And there seems to be just kind of different seasons for things back in the woods. And I just can't wait to get back there and explore and see what is flowering, what's blooming, and the things that are starting to grow. It's super exciting for me because I love to be in nature. I love to be with my creator and just see all the beautiful things that are starting to grow in the spring. So I went into the red barn and I grabbed a basket because you need a basket and you need to look cute when you're foraging in the woods. So I grabbed one of those and I thought I would grab the camera and take you along. You know, I'll be honest that I am not an expert about wild edibles, about wild things that grow in the forest at all, but I figured, you know, the things that I do know, I wouldn't mind sharing with you guys so you can learn a little bit too. I have a lot more to learn, but I thought it'd be fun to just go and see what we could find. So let's go explore and take a look. So behind me is actually what I came out here to show you initially. It's called Spicebush. It is, you know, it's just kind of a plain old looking bush that has yellow flowers in the spring. And the main way that I can identify this is the smell or the scent of the branches itself. It kind of smells like a baking spice, like nutmeg, allspice, that kind of thing. And the twigs and the branches you can use to make a tea, to treat colds and the flu. And in the summer, it produces a red berry. And you can harvest those red berries, and you can dry the berries and use it as an allspice substitute. Inside the berries is a little seed, and some people will actually harvest the berry separate from the seed because the seed can be ground up, and apparently it tastes like black pepper, and it can be used as a black pepper substitute. Now, I haven't harvested the berries or the seeds. I plan to do that this summer and this fall and give that a try, but I wanted to show you Spicebush. It actually looks like it's at the end of its blooming. I'm going to come out here in a couple days or so and mark it also so that I can identify it in the summer and get to learn what the leaves look like, so that I can identify it all year round rather than just in the spring. Another wild edible that I am seeing that's starting to grow is gooseberry. Now, we have harvested gooseberries in the summer. They grow and are ripe around the same time as wild blackberries here. We've harvested a few. A lot of times the critters get them before we can, and they have prickers on them. So it's hard sometimes to get those berries without really hurting yourself. But let me show you up close what a gooseberry plant looks like. Okay, so this is a gooseberry stalk right here. And up close, with its pricky, you can see what these leaves look like. Hopefully that this is focusing on that. See what these leaves look like, and they're pricky. And in the summer, they'll grow a green berry, which will then turn purple. And sometimes people harvest them when the berries are green, sometimes they'll wait until they're purple, and a lot of people make gooseberry pie around here. Just walking down the trail a little bit farther and there's more gooseberry. We have a lot of gooseberry on our property. I'm down here by the holler that cuts our property kind of in half, and this is where I come throughout the summer to harvest what the locals here call spicy wild oregano. And I'm not sure what the real name is for that. But it is fantastic oregano. It has a little bit of a kick to it. Yeah, there's this area, and then there are a couple other areas in different areas of our property that we can harvest them from, and I like to come here in the spring and just check up on it and make sure it's growing. So I want to show you what that looks like, at least right now. So here's one area that has several plants of the wild oregano growing. Right here, these tiny little plants sticking up, these are all the spicy wild oregano that grows here, and these plants will get about a foot high, and I can harvest them a couple times over the summer. And to be honest with you, I really prefer the flavor of this over the Greek oregano that I grow in the garden. And I think honestly I'm just gonna dig out my oregano from my herb garden and grow something else there this year, because I much prefer this. And when I dry it to use over the winter, the flavor of it stays much more true than the oregano that I grow in the herb garden. Walking down the trail over by Rocky, who is our male goat, I came across an area that last year I was able to harvest some wild yarrow. And even though I plant yarrow in one of my gardens and I harvest it for medicine there, it's nice to see that there's some growing already down here in the pathway and that it's coming back. The flowers are gonna take, months to come up, but I wanna show you what the leaves look like in case you're out walking and you think you've identified some yarrow. Then you can mark that and come back and harvest the flowers. So here is a nice patch of yarrow leaves. You can see how frilly they are, and they come up in nice little clumps. These will get bigger and then they'll shoot up a nice gorgeous flower. These look a lot like Queen Anne's lace or wild carrot, but if you find the difference online between this and the wild carrot, Queen Anne's lace leaves and the flowers, you'll be able to identify them when you're out walking too. Now yarrow can be used to bring down fevers and to treat colds. You can use any of the above ground parts for those. And then some people will chew on these leaves if they have a toothache, but I've never done that. So this is some yarrow. I'm excited to see this. I'll be harvesting this in the summer. Well, I'm gonna go down this trail down here. This is over by our pond, and there's actually something I'm kind of looking for specifically, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to find it. It might be a little bit too early. What I was hoping to find were redbud trees. Now in the spring, the redbuds, it's probably an unofficial name for a tree, have these teeny tiny little red flowers on them, and they're edible. And last year I gathered enough of them to decorate Grace's birthday cake. She turns 15 today. I have her birthday cake made, but I don't have any flowers to go on top of it. I've looked at the 2 redbud trees that I know that we have, and they're just not blooming yet, so they're just a little bit behind. So I'm gonna go back in the woods and see if there's something else that I can put on top of there, and if not, I have one last resort, but it's just not as pretty. So let's see what we can go find back here in the woods this way. Okay, what I'm after, or what I'm hoping to be after, should be down in there, in that sunny spot. Well, I just found another spice bush. This one is actually just starting to bloom. So this is a little bit later than that one that I showed you, so it's nice to know that there's another one around here, but this is not what I'm looking for, but it is nice to see. Well, this, not that, this is kind of what I'm looking for, but it's not blossoming yet. Do you have any idea what that plant is? Well, darn, I think I'm out of luck. I was looking for violet blooms, violets. They are edible and would be pretty on a cake, but they're just not ready yet. I see their leaves are out, but this just isn't a sunny enough area for them to be blooming. Down the road by the creek that was overflowing, there are violets down there, but there's so much sand, I don't want to get them from there and then like have gritty teeth in our birthday cake. That would be kind of gross. So, well, tough luck on that, So before I go back to the house, I want to show you just a couple more things if I find them. And then I think that Kevin and I might go on a little adventure really quickly before the sun goes down and take you along. I'm in one of my favorite spots. I want to show you what we have here. This is an area that has quite a bit of this wild mint. It smells wonderful. And there's a big patch of it right here. But then as you keep looking, there's a bunch of it all over here. Now last year I just came here to admire it and I harvested a little bit. But this year, look, it's all over. This year I'm actually going to dig some of it up and bring it up to the house and plant it. So I came back to the house and I found Kevin and we're going to go on an adventure. Now we've done this adventure last year, haven't we?
Yep. It was not a whole lot of fun.
Oh, it was fun.
Oh, it was fun,
it just
but
wasn't
it was very
successful.
Right, it was unsuccessful.
So what are we going to do?
We're going to go looking for morel mushrooms.
Yay!
Now, I'll tell you, last year we spent like 4 days all day looking for morels and we didn't find a single one. And as we were walking back toward the house, our neighbor walked over and he had like a huge potato sack full of them that he was like bragging about.
Yeah, from like just across the road.
Yeah, from like literally like the guy who owns the property right across the street from us.
But I don't think we have a single one.
No, I think they all are on his property. But we're gonna try again this year, so wish us luck.
Let's see what we can find. There's some mushrooms over there. But they're not morels. They're just manure pile mushrooms. Well, it's getting cold and we're gonna head back to the house. How many did you find?
I found just as many as we did last year.
I didn't find any either, darn it.
I think it's just too early.
I think so too, it's a little bit cold.
Yeah, we'll have to try again in another couple days.
Yeah.
And then a few days after that.
And a few days after that?
Until we finally get our spirits broken and we give up.
Okay, well you guys, thanks so much for stopping by today. I hope that you enjoyed coming along with me on a little bit of a foraging adventure. To be honest with you, my basket is completely empty, but I am not discouraged. There's a lot of things starting to grow and I can't wait for more and more things to start popping up. Hey, if you have not subscribed to our channel yet and you like what you saw right now, is a perfect time for you to hit the subscribe button below. And if you are one of our faithful traditionalists that comes back every time we have a new video, welcome and thank you so much for coming back. Before you go, if you would share this video with your friends and family, we would love that. Give us a comment. We'd love to hear from you. And until
I'm looking in case I see one last one.
Until next time, you guys, thanks so much for stopping by the homestead. Take care and God bless.
God bless.